Hi, I'm Timothy Faust, and on this episode of In Pursuit of Light, I'll be here in Crested Butte, Colorado, photographing wildflowers. Today, I'm going to be talking about the importance of doing a little bit of planning and research, as well as scouting locations before we actually take the camera out to photograph. Join me in Pursuit of Light. It'd be great if we could show up to a new location with our cameras, take them out, and just start getting great photos. The reality is it doesn't quite work that way. The best photos take a lot of planning and preparation, and the best way to do that is by scouting the location when the weather or light is crummy like it is now. Right now the sun's directly overhead, it's really garish and it's not very good for taking photos, but it's really good to go out and look around. So all I'm going to do is drive out to some locations here in Crested Butte, maybe do a little bit of hiking, and all I'm going to take with me is my map and a pen, and I'm going to make some notes. Things I'm going to be looking at is what direction these hillsides with flowers will be facing, so that I can figure out what time of day will be best to come back and photograph them. Earlier this week I went online to get a wildflower report from someone who had just been here a few days ago. From there I got a bunch of ideas of where the wildflower blooms are likely to be, and I circled those on my map. So right now I'm just kind of checking them out to see how they look and if they've changed and what kind of conditions I should come back in to photograph them. I'm actually up Gothic Road right now, and behind me there's one of the spots I circled on the map. I'm going to go over there and check it out. Wow. Now this is pretty much exactly what I was looking for. A field of flowers with this mountain in the background. And if I'm looking at the map correctly, we're looking north, maybe a little northwest right now. So that first thing in the morning, I think Gothic Mountain there is going to be lit up with this wonderful warm sunlight, assuming it's a sunny day. And this field of flowers will get hit just a little bit later. So I think this is going to be an ideal place for us to come back in the morning. These mountains behind us have some potential to get some nice evening sun, but honestly, I think we can do better. So I'm here at Emerald Lake, and as you can see, there's no shortage of wildflowers. Unfortunately, we're at the bottom of a valley, so early morning, late evening shots, this is all going to be in shadow because the sun's not going to be reaching the bottom of this gully. However, this is going to be a great place to go if it's overcast or real cloudy, because we don't have to worry about the shadows then, because there aren't going to be any. So I'm going to keep this in mind. I'm going to make a little note on my map, and if it's an overcast or cloudy day tomorrow, we'll come here instead of the one of the other spots we looked at. So we're looking due east here. What that means is when the sun's setting in the west, this is going to be lit up real nicely for us. I think it's got a lot of potential. We have this water cascading down through this little mini canyon covered in flowers. So we have a lot to work with here. This might be good right before the sun completely sets. We have a little bit of light up on that mountain, and this is in shadow. And then we'll be able to use a little bit slower shutter speed and maybe get some of that kind of flowy effect to the water here. Ansel Adams was often fond of saying, "Chance favors the prepared mind." Technically he was quoting Louis Pasteur, but that quote has as much to do with photography as it does to finding ways to extend the shelf life of milk. Now there's some ways you can prepare your mind before going out to photograph. One of those is to research the area as much as you can, look at books and maps, try to get a feel for it. If you're not comfortable reading topographic maps, you might want to download a program called Google Earth. It's free and it'll present areas in 3 dimensions, so you don't have to try to figure out what the contour lines mean. Another thing you can do is go to a variety of websites, and even there's some phone applications now that'll give you an hour-by-hour weather forecast. That's really useful because it can tell you a lot about what the weather's going to be doing at the time you photograph. So while we're out scouting locations today, I'm going to be taking notes about what areas might look good in direct sun at different times of day, or what areas might look good if it's cloudy or overcast. That way, whatever the weather's doing, we have kind of a place we can go to. We can just kind of pull it out of all the notes that we wrote down. Having that preparation means it's a lot more time saved, and we're not going to be running around trying to figure out what to photograph at the last minute. Having all those notes written down about the different areas we're visiting is going to help later, so that whatever the weather's doing, we're going to have an idea of where we should go depending on what time of day it is. That way we're not wasting a lot of time running around looking for something to photograph. It's just another way we can be prepared for whatever event comes up. So what I've found here is we have this old fence with the barbed wire, a big coil of barbed wire hanging around one of the fence posts with Mount Crested Butte in the background. And right now we're getting kind of this really interesting mottled light. If you want to take a look at it here with me through the camera, you can see exactly what it's doing. And it's creating this really interesting effect, because some of the mountain's in light and some of it's in shadow from the clouds. And really it's just going to be a matter of sitting here for anywhere from a few minutes or all the way till sunsets an hour from now, and just hoping we get the right light coming through. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it pretty much rained all night and everything is soaking wet right now. We have a little bit of cloud in the sky, but I have a feeling if we wait a little bit, we're going to see a little break in the clouds, just based on what I'm looking at out to the east there. And we should get some nice light coming through here, be able to get a couple shots. But that's okay, it's not a big deal, because even in this kind of soft, cloudy situation we have right now, this soft light is going to be really nice to get some photos of these flowers.
In Pursuit of Light is brought to you by Altitude Fine Art Photography Gallery, featuring fine art prints, gifts, photography workshops, and more, located in Breckenridge, Colorado. Learn more at altitudegallery.com. And by Click Elite Performance Packs for Adventure Photographers.